Herbert throwing, running. Herbert taken down by George Karlaftis. Bringing up a third down. Loss of 1.
They were the worst in the NFL on third down a year ago. A 3rd and 9 here for Flacco. Flacco pumps. Pressure comes. Spins away. Down he goes. Hendrickson was there. Shamar Stewart brought him down.
Tagovailoa with time. Now fires over the middle. Picked off. It's Latu dropping in coverage on the return. And he's taken out of bounds.
Good snap. Good hold. Oh, it's blocked. And the ball will go out of the back of the end zone.
To adapt some things to what C.J. Stroud in this offensive line is comfortable with.
Nice block by Chubb. But here they come up the middle. They got him with Davis. Another sack. Oh, a solid backup.
From the San Francisco 45, Sam Darnold in the Seahawks debut. Quickly outside, Smith and Jigba. Lost the football. San Francisco's got it. The rookie Marquise Siegel. Marquise Siegel, surprise starter at safety, dives on that football, and in his NFL debut, he's got a takeaway.
But he did earn the trust of his defense.
Nix is looking deep downfield. Lost the ball as he banged into Simmons, and Tennessee may have it. Joseph Day's on top of it. And Jeffrey Simmons makes the impact. But he sits to watch the veteran operate this offense. As Tracy gets it right away, he gets hit basically at the line of scrimmage by Kinlaw.
I'm going to say the former, just instinctually, but I don't know. There's Rodgers on first down, pressure, and he's brought down. Quentin Williams gets home.
McCarthy is down. And a sack by the Chicago defense. A loss of 1 in the open field. Big play. First down from the 25. Caleb Williams has to pull it down. And it's Hargrave. His first as a Viking.
Showing 0. Start to back off a little bit on 2nd and 10. Bringing the pressure and getting to Wilson for the first time today. Clark and Odigizua.
One-on-one down bottom here.
That's T. Higgins. Browning looks that way, runs out of time. Trayvon Walker closed that quickly.
In this half. And possessed the ball to start the third, too. Allen. Whoa. Trying to save the sack. That's a rarity. He got sacked only 14 times all of last year. Just saying, it does feel like there's quite a difference here.
That's exactly right.
In ability right now and execution as Cook lost the football, but
Trying to make the cut, and nothing much there for Warren. It is Tyrese Knight.
3 touchdowns and a pick. Uh-oh. That's trouble. That's trouble. Buckner finally got him.
One stretching it to get it to Mason, and he will be stopped. David Onyemata struggled a bit last week, comes up with the loss of a yard on that run. It's 3rd and 2.
Herbert climbs the pocket and runs into traffic, and he'll be dropped for a short sack. Laulu got him.
So they got 11 guys who fly to the football. They're down in 4. Mayfield, time runs out. Mayfield tripped up and down he goes. It's 4th down.
Running routes and then the return game as well. He is a special talent.
Mariota keeps. And Marcus Mariota gliding downfield, loses the football. And the Raiders kick it around and finally come up with it. Caillou Blue Kelly has the recovery. 12 times he's facing a consecutive third and long. This one's the longest of the 3. And Ward shuffling his feet, he slips.
He said he slips a little bit here at Nissan Stadium, and he's sacked again. It's a 62-yarder from the near hash mark. Good snap, good hole. Kick is on its way, and it was deflected. It's going to be off to the left. It was deflected by Grover Stewart.
Score down at 9. Mayfield pulls it in. Wrapped up. Down he goes. Ball comes loose.
A big development here. Lane Johnson out of the game at right tackle. Matt Pryor has replaced him. They blitz right over that right tackle spot and get there for the first sack of the day. Poona Ford.
I always feel it's a good way to jumpstart an offense. Stay out of the huddle. Get up on the line. Call your best plays.
Go 3 yards on that first play. Hurts gets pounded. The ball is out. And the Rams will fight for it at the bottom. Nate Landman, it looks like, has it. Nate Landman recovers the fumble after a thunderous hit. Joshua Carty has it blocked again! This time Jordan Davis, the big man, looks for the icing on one big cake. Eagles hang on.
And now a 3rd down and 5 for New England. May under a rush. And May is sacked back at the 41-yard line. It was a convoy to the quarterback for Pittsburgh with Derek Harmon and Cam Hayward.
Right now, he's already made a significant improvement over there. They got destroyed on that side for the first 2 weeks.
Here's the 3rd and 9. Wentz, pump fake, in trouble, runs right into another Bengal defender. They've got a sack. They take him down with the likes of Miles Murphy and Chris Jenkins.
Play action, screen, something quick.
Go to him again.
Not going to work today.
Vikings are waiting for it. And you are too.
Said it, yeah. So you have to get these.
Yeah, it's a pretty demanding stretch coming up when they get back after the bye. 3rd and 12. Wentz dropped for the 3rd time. And it's Chris Jenkins. That was the matchup Browning had when he was the Washington quarterback against Ohio State in the Rose Bowl to close out his career with the Huskies. And here he just hands it off. P-Ryan fumbled. Oh my goodness. Where's Rodgers? Recovered by Minnesota. Chase Brown, the running back. He scored week 1. Not going to score right here on that play. Waiting for him was Levi Drake Rodriguez.
As we hit the 2-minute mark left in the quarter. Stroud running for his life, set.
After one play, Jordan Morgan in on 2nd and 2. Love with pressure, and down he goes. The Browns get to him with Malik Collins coming right up the gut, pushing that line back and sacking Jordan Love.
Olszewski, the returner, is the holder. Gillen, the punter, is the kicker, and it's blocked. Another block kick on this day of block kicks, and it will remain 6-6.
This drive starts at the 21, down by 4. Hand off to Henry, and he gets it punched out. It's recovered by DJ Reed. Knocked out on the play by Aiden Hutchinson. And it's yet another fumble for Derrick Henry.
Cup in motion. Darnold looked that way, and Darnold gets swallowed up at the 30-yard line. That's on Baron Browning and Calais Campbell both coming in.
And now Clint Kubiak has him playing in rhythm with these play-action passes.
Yep, right there, play action. In trouble, down he goes at the 40-yard line. But the one thing about Darnold, it's such a parallel here.
Play clock down to 1. Williams batted up in the air, and it is picked. Crosby. He has been a beast at the start.
Williams made the wrong decision. He should have handed that ball off.
3rd and 16. Raiders coming heavy. Williams buried. Tyree Wilson.
Can't find anyone. Hurts in trouble. Sacked again. Vita Vea's got a number 2 on the day.
2nd down and 10.
They enter the backfield with a four-man rush into Herbert. Batted down, picked off. Look who's got it. The big man, Lawrence. The quarterback can't get him. Inside the 5. Interception. Giants goal to go. Second down and 8 for Dart. They come through with Eboigbe, and he gets him. Eboigbe brings him down. A sack right there, losing 5, 6 sacks by the Chargers.
And don't let that over route get behind you.
Fake the run. They dropped a throw, but didn't like what he saw.
It's a quarterback-driven conference. It's a quarterback-driven lead, and they went out and got a Hall of Famer.
Who will start his day by getting sacked by Jalen Redmond, who a year ago was in the UFL. Now in the first play in Dublin, he's got himself an NFL sack.
It makes sense to have an extra DB.
Bringing pressure here on 3rd and long, and getting to Wentz. There is a flag. Wentz is sacked back at the 22 by Patrick Queen. That's an offensive line without the left guard Jackson, without the center Kelly, without the right tackle O'Neal, and then this is picked off. T.J. Watt, as electric of a big play guy as there is on defense in the NFL, makes another big play right there.
Run after run after run.
Take the clock down and maybe deliver the dagger. Achane runs again, lost the football. On the ground, a scramble for it. And it looks like Miami has kept possession.
Four-man rush. Daniels looking around. He's in trouble and he's dropped. Boy, just got out of the end zone there to avoid a safety. See how the Chargers answer now. Blitz is coming against Herbert. He is smashed. They answer with a commander sack, their 3rd of the day. Oh, he's like my daughter's then.
That's for Moose. Must be something good. I'll just hard it.
Pressure comes. Goff's in trouble. Sacked by Joseph Osai.
We saw the steady improvement of that defense. Second down, Fields. A little play action. A lot of time to throw, and he is hit. He tries to sling it away. Odigizua had him in his grasp, and Fields was nearly down as he uncorked that ball. We'll see what the officials decide here.
Well, then you take a look and say, is Breece Hall not in the game in your best interest here to try to get competitive in the second half?
Especially without Braylon Allen. It's another sack for Houston.
This is the spot you take the shot at the end zone if you're the Saints. Second down, make your throw.
Rattler's pass deflected at the line and incomplete. Dart in the shotgun. Scattaboo. And the ball came out. No whistle. Howden going the other way. Howden's going to go the distance, and we'll have to see if this one stands.
It's Tyler Warren moving around. He steps into the slot. Give it to Jonathan Taylor, but there's nowhere to go. Now 3rd and goal. Raiders have an injured punter. Smith in trouble. He's not going to get away. Sacked at the 45. DeForest Buckner. Time for Geno Smith. Batted in the air and intercepted by the Colts. Latu gets the deflection, and he'll get credit for the pick.
On 3rd down, Darren Waller back into the game. Top of your screen, number 83. Tagovailoa goes down. Derek Brown all over him.
That's what they've been able to do so far on this particular drive.
3rd down. Tagovailoa swarmed and brought down. A'Shawn Robinson, the first man to get to him.
Sweet. Mason returns. Cam at fullback. On 2nd down with C.J. Ham leading the way. It's Mason. Loose. Officials looking for the bottom of the pile. Still no indication. Wentz pulls it in and is taken down.
He's really done that for Greg May.
Injured week 8 last year. May taking off here. He is tied up and brought down. A.J. Epinesa is there. So too is Deion Walker.
A number of different categories, but got to find a way to get him some touches.
Only 2 completed passes for 1 yard for Justin Fields. Let's see if he can get more. Runs out of time, and he can't run out of the pocket. As he is taken down right there by Uwazurike. Fields is sacked. Nick Benito leading the way. Nix is going to throw it. He steps up, and it is a big-time sack by Jermaine Johnson.
Stafford to throw. Some pressure in his face. He lost the football, and it's picked up by the Ravens. And now here comes a run back by big old John Jenkins. John Jenkins, who weighs 370 pounds. The sack, the strip, and the recovery. The trifecta. Quick throws, Zay Flowers turns, looking for a little window, making something happen. Zay Flowers, the ball comes out, it is loose, it's picked up by the Rams, and it's Quentin Lake who's got it. He's got an interception, he's got a fumble, recover, and return, and the Rams are in business. Brissett, pressure comes, and down he goes. Quiddy Pay with his second sack of the year.
Is going to be the team that has the best chance to win. And right now, Patriots in the driver's seat.
Stevenson going to lose yardage. So really the script has flipped for the Patriots. Remember last week, some offensive kind of growing pains in the second half. They were tremendous.
Bill now the Titans offensive line coach. Yes. Second down and 16. Ward spun around, and he is taken down. Fourth sack of the season for Jonah Laulu.
And all of a sudden, third, fourth quarter, they don't want to tackle him anymore, just like Marshawn.
Second down and 4, and Smith is taken down. So Draymond Jones lost the sack a couple of minutes ago due to the penalty.
Got it right back.
There he goes.
They had done a nice job holding him to the field goal attempt and felt good. Now they gave him a new set of downs to try and put 6 on the board.
Herbert looking to run, he's taken down. Butler and Kenneth Grant combine on that tackle.
Third down 8. Lawrence from the pocket will be sacked. He had time, couldn't find anybody, and inside the 5, Leonard Williams with help from Uchenna Nwosu brought him down. What they're doing here, obviously Liam Cohen came from there, and he thought it was a benefit, and it certainly looks that way as they're going to get another sack, their third of the game, and Byron Murphy with help from DeMarcus Lawrence.
So back to 1st and 10. Krosky Merritt left side, well played by Chicago, ball out. And blocked. Blocked by Washington.
Just play to the integrity of the defense. Don't panic. And Atlanta's in good shape.
Allen giving a new lease on life, but still heated up, and they never get him down. Just a bear hug and a whistle. And Yamada got him that time.
Burrow under pressure. They finally get to him. Finally. Cam Hayward, the first guy to get in there.
It's pretty hard not to be undefeated, but they found a way. Need a little bit better on D. See if they get it today. Williams is in trouble. He's going to be dropped for a safety. I still haven't seen a signal, but he did not get out. And there it is. Deron Payne blew up the play. 2 points for the Commanders. Pressure. Mariota in trouble. Mariota is dropped again. It's Jadeveon Clowney. He has had a big night.
Not as many takeaways this season, but still very, very good defensively.
Here's Michael Carter, and he is met immediately by Colby Wooden.
Vidal initially set up. They fake it to him. Herbert pump, knocked up in the air. Who's got it? The Colts do! Big man pick. Grover Stewart with a slobber knocker INT.
Big man pick. Grover Stewart. And Nix has got a couple tight ends out there, and here comes the rush, and it was almost picked off. Incomplete, almost grabbed by Roy Robertson-Harris.
What a thrill to see my teammates last week.
Very cool. May in trouble, and T'Vondre Sweat brings him down. All 366 pounds of them.
Get in field goal range and use that timeout. And he's backing up into a Panther, and he's sacked back at the 46.
Got to bang a timeout.
A'Shawn Robinson brought him down.
It's over. They got all three corners on the same side of the field.
Wentz looks in that direction. He ends up taking the sack, and it's Moro Ojomo.
But this Browns defense is jacked up. Cleveland top 5 defense. Tua. Myles Garrett coming with the heat.
4-man rush. Williams in trouble. They're going to get him. Down he goes at the 31. Chase Young and Brian Brzee meeting at the quarterback for the sack.
They have just got to find a way to get off the field.
It's been hard for this pass rush to get at Darnold. This time he's got plenty of time, runs out of it, loses the ball. It's a scramble, and it's recovered in the end zone. Touchdown, Texans on the takeaway. It's Will Anderson. My goodness, that might have just turned this game on a dime.
Wentz, look out again. They got him. Back at the 48-yard line, which they're doing brilliantly tonight. 2nd and 7. Herbert steps up and he's going to get sacked back at the 25-yard line. Jonathan Allen comes in to knock him down.
Based on what he sees the defense doing, the best offensive play possible.
Dart, little fake. I don't know if this is a busted play or not, but he gets eaten alive by Jordan Davis. Blitz, Dart in deep trouble, slides away. He is swarmed and dropped again. Season high, 5th sack for the Eagles.
The barefoot Bishop, Mac Hollins, who worked his way up from special teams. And can he get rid of it? No. Lunging forward, Alex Wright brings down.
Comes a little more difficult. Allen. Scrambling away. Stopping. Backing. And for the first time on a scramble this year, he takes a sack. On the 44th scramble.
It's a blast.
2nd and 6 for Dalton here. Trying to get out of that pocket. And you see the Bills swiping at the ball. It ends up being Walker chasing him down.
They could have declined the penalty. It would have set up 4th down and 1. Huntley, he's in trouble. And Huntley is brought down at the 24. Timeout called. The Bears get home with Jervon Dexter.
Mayfield on 2nd down is sacked. Back at midfield.
Look for some deep outs and or deep curls from Emeka Egbuka.
Mayfield, ball again, ball comes loose. Saints have it. So now the Bucs turn it over. Chase Young with the hit.
Records go back to 2000. That is the longest streak. Jones with time. Now chased out. T'Vondre Sweat following to the sideline, and Jones runs out of bounds. Ward, pressure coming, and he is buried.
Back at the end line, those are the high throws. That's a really good ball placement by Cam Ward.
On 3rd and goal, Ward trying to escape from the pocket, keeping the play alive, and now he's taken down. Great pressure from Neville Gallimore.
Green 19. He's at green 19. You heard before that cadence.
Rodgers deep drop, nothing open, he's going down. Sack, Micah Parsons. Number 1 got one.
Washington 3 for 3 on third down. Mariota is down. Brought down by Karlaftis. And that'll bring up fourth down.
Herbert, quick drop. He's under pressure, and Herbert is sacked again inside the 10-yard line. Pretty much in Dicker's range. You see the target line. Herbert to throw again. Herbert steps up. Herbert's in trouble, and Herbert goes down. He is sacked at the 45-yard line.
Jones loses the ball. It got knocked away by Watt. T.J. Watt doing what he does best.
Kittle was in IR for 5 weeks. He started now his 3rd consecutive game. This is McCaffrey trying to burrow his way. Redwell brought down. First down and 10 with Singletary the back. Here they come up the middle. Crowd there. Okuwanu coming through with his 2nd sack of the season. Losing 7 on the play.
But just in and of themselves, Atlanta's got to find a way to get it done.
May pump fakes, lost the football again. It's loose, and Drake May was able to fall on it.
13th play of this opening drive. They had a 16-play opening drive last week that resulted in 3. Stroud looking, pocket collapsing, he's in trouble, and they got him. Zach Allen finally able to get to C.J. Stroud. 37 sacks this year.
Carolina, 3rd and 7.
Yeah, Carolina would have had a chance to get off the field with 1 stop. Now Love under pressure, and he's going to hit the deck. It is Tershawn Turk Wharton.
Kick is blocked. It is picked up by Minnesota, too. It looks like Isaiah Rodgers, who already has 2 touchdowns on defense on the year, picks it up. Big return in Minnesota. What a play.
Williams has also done a nice job in some of those scramble situations.
Caleb Williams, for the escapability, then ran into his own guy. And Cincinnati is going to get this sack. Cedric Johnson, by the way, the man who hit Williams, making his first game of the season. Santos misses badly. Going back to last week against the Jets, just incredible. Flacco buried. Football came out. Chicago has recovered.
Extra men on the rush, and how about Campbell? Take another one.
Smith in the pocket, waiting, looking, hit from behind. Down he goes at the 43-yard line. Zach Allen. So 17 consecutive games, or a season's worth, with a touchdown pass. 2nd and 4, buying time, but takes too much time. And in there for the sack comes Adam Butler.
His 3rd today. Extra point is blocked.
Browns rush 4, trying to get to the quarterback. Fields, everyone covered. Fields wrapped up, broke the initial sack, but he's buried nonetheless. Malik Collins. What a second-half performance by this Jets defense as Dylan Gabriel and company begin, and he's going down. Jermaine Johnson, and now they're teeing off on the rookie quarterback.
McCarthy tipped at the line and incomplete. 2nd and 10. Backside pressure. Jackson's in trouble. Down he goes. The pressure coming from Andrew Van Ginkel on the outside. Javon Hargrave on the inside. It's a sack and a loss of 7.
Back in Orchard Park, just so you know.
I'll take rain over snow any day.
All right, there you go. 3rd and 7. Allen trying to run, and he's taken down. Zach Sealer finally
Not quite expecting that in the walkthrough the night before the game, that you're going to be the receiving end on that play of a touchdown pass.
Farrell had no touchdowns first 4 years in the league, and this is blocked, and the extra point is no good. That's pretty big.
Rookie Ryan Fitzgerald blocked from 48 yards away. The attempt at a big special teams play.
Keenan Allen, third down, usually the guy he looks for. Hasn't connected tonight. Covered, sacked. The rookie, the third-year man, Keanu Benton inside. Beg your pardon, comes up. Now 4.5 sacks on the year as he gets to Herbert and forces the punt.
Cold and windy night, and Matt LaFleur not willing to try the 59-yarder. What a play. That's Devontae Wyatt.
First down pitch back here. And a loss that time to Ernest Johnson, the ball carrier.
Kind of like Henderson. He can catch the ball to the backfield, too.
Johnson stays in there. Fake to him, look out, and they finally get to May. Jermaine Johnson busting through, gets the sack.
So thank you for not mentioning it.
You have me pegged as the wrong guy. Herbert smothered Jacksonville.
Back to the Packers defense. They're playing intermediate right now. Here's Winston. Loading up, gotta hurry, hit from behind. Ball is out. And this game is over. And Micah Parsons finally gets home. And he is now 9-0 in his career against the New York Giants.
Not allowing anybody to get free. Gainwell the back, 2nd and 10. Messy pocket, escaping again. Chased by Murphy, brought down. Hit on the play by both Murphy and B.J. Hill. They don't have a lot of sacks, only the 14th of the season, only 2 of the past 3 games.
40. Here's Mahomes on 3rd and 1. They get him for the first time. DJ Jones was the first to get there. Jordan Turner pitched in.
Woody Marks goes nowhere. He might lose a yard or two. There's a little hesitation. Ward is going to be sacked. Tommy Togiai, who had that batted ball a moment ago.
They would like to run the ball more than they have.
Here's a blitz. Cowboys pick it up. Prescott is protected. Now Crosby gets in, and the ball is out. Raiders on top. Las Vegas football. Smith. Pressure. Sacked. Kenny Clark. And boy, did the Cowboys need that. Now,
and to me, they got to control. No penalties. Indianapolis cost themselves points for penalties. Like
ball tip and caught at the 5. And still, they're going to rule him down back at the 2-yard line.
Wow.
Latu makes the play. What a play it was.
But I always empathize with the defense on those plays, fellas.
All right, Gene. Trey Smith, by the way, limped to the sideline. Caliendo in for him. As Mahomes rolls way back to the 40, now eludes a tackle, and it is sacked about a yard behind a line of scrimmage. It'll be 3rd down.
They've lost to all the teams they're competing with.
Right.
I think they've got 1 loss left the whole season before they have to win out.
Mahomes not able to even get back to the line. I guess he did get to the line of scrimmage, but Stewart was waiting for him.
He needs to stay in the pocket here. It's a 3-man rush.
3rd and goal. Mahomes at the 10, in trouble, and is sacked at the 8-yard line.
It remains alive, if just barely. These Vikings. Mason escaped Parsons, but could not get away from Colby Wooden.
Here's Williams in the pocket. Williams trying to get out of the pocket. He won't. Loses the ball, and the Steelers jump on top of it. It's a touchdown, and it's T.J. Watt. Metcalf is back in there. Rudolph looking. Rudolph is sacked. Ball's out. Ball's out. Ball is rolling around. Who's got it? Bears had a shot at it. Steelers then had a chance.
But you see him going back into the Baltimore locker room. That'll be a big story as the Ravens get ready for the Bengals on Thursday night. Tyrod Taylor is sacked. Draymond Jones with his second of the day.
Positive yardage so they can have some sort of balance in their offense.
Jacksonville rushes forward. Brissett feeling the heat. Brissett smothered. Second time they've gotten to him already.
Third and long, 4-man rush. Cousins has that ball knocked away into the hands of his lineman. Elijah Wilkinson was trying to rescue it.
This is the right defense if you're the Browns. I know the fans might get frustrated, but
oh man, Myles Garrett just swats the ball out of the hand of Geno Smith, and it's recovered by the Browns. Malik Collins recovers it. The 10th sack of the day will give Cleveland the football with 2:10 to play.
Cowboys rush 4. Hurts in trouble. Sacked! Ocho Digizua for a big loss, and the Cowboys will get it back.
Ibuka in motion. Mayfield trying to escape. Ran into his own man as he was being brought down. Kobe Turner, the conductor, plays the theme. Takes down the opposing QB.
Whoever wins today, you do have a way to get into the playoffs. If you lose, it's really bleak.
Mahomes looking around, making sure he can buy some time. Again, no, he's going down. Cowboys stayed after him, and Clowney eventually got him.
This one's where you want a little rack.
But they'll take it. Look out! Goff is smoke. Guess who? Micah Parsons.
Barrett, his quarterback coach, Declan Doyle, he's going to find that groove and be more consistent.
Yeah, he's 9 out of 20. That's 45%, and they finally get to him. So for the first time in 4 drives, the Eagles respond.
Safety heads deep. 3rd and 9 for Lamar. In trouble. And he lost the ball. It's caught out of the air. Cedric Johnson has it. Joseph Osai hit him. It popped in the air. And out of nowhere, Cedric Johnson has it. And the Bengals are in business. A couple of tough years, then got Burrow and really put the Bengals. Oh, the fumble is recovered by Baltimore. Travis Jones falls on it. So in a 2-score game.
Oh, yeah. And some guy named Burrow is back playing quarterback.
Vidal is stuffed. Tyree Wilson, the initial hit. Adam Butler coming in.
You just don't want it to slide to a point where you're looked at as one-dimensional.
And off again tonight. Fumble the football, and it's recovered by Tampa Bay. Tyke Smith, look what I found.
That's just one of those decisions that I would completely disagree with.
With the rain falling, and Tua to throw again, and he'll be sacked inside the 15-yard line. Chase Young, what a year he is having. Didn't play the first 5 weeks of the season.
From there. 3rd and 4, Colts trying to convert. Jones can't get out of there. Houston makes him pay. The Texans get Sheldon Rankins home. Stroud in trouble, and he's sacked. Dumped back at the 28-yard line. Adebawore gets to the quarterback.
4-man rush. Stafford gets brought down. That ball came out. Derek Brown the hit, and DJ won him the ball.
Vrabel trying to get it. Instead, Borregales will try and miss from 45.
Now we'll await Pam's update on that. So the second half begins. The Bills with the ball from the 25, and Josh Allen looks to throw. He's pressured. He is sacked. It's B.J. Hill.
Can he stay in single high, or does he get back to playing too high defense?
Cross set of downs. Allen pump fake, steps up, and gets ripped down. T.J. Slayton.
Get back to it. Haven't been to the Sphere yet. Still waiting for free tickets to that. Yeah, Zach Brown was there last night as Bo Nix was taken down. Max Crosby in on that play, and now we've hit the 2-minute warning on CBS. Harvey. And Harvey is stopped. So Las Vegas will get the ball back. No timeouts and 58 seconds on the clock.
Irving the back. 2nd down 5 from the 39. Mayfield, Irving. Oh, stop behind the line. Terrific penetration on the play coming through Devon Conchaw. Hill on the move. They want to get him the ball more. Shuck. He's got Hill and he's brought down. Here comes Vita Vea.
Have during the pregame festivities here. We're protected here at US Bank Stadium. McCarthy ducking away and somehow takes a loss and turns it into about a yard or so gain. He was never whistled down, so he kept on moving and bangs his way down to the 45.
They're an extremely dynamic offense.
3rd and 6. Mariota is going to try to pick it up with his legs. He gets close to it. That ball came out, though, towards the end of the play. And it is Javon Hargrave who comes out with it. It is going to be ruled as a fumble.
Great effort from the Jags linebacker. Leonard is now 10 of 16 for 82 yards. On the ground, Taylor. He's brought down from behind. He could not break away.
He's got it. And he's going nowhere. The Titans were ready and there wasn't any room.
1st and goal from the 8. On the toss, Warren backed up 2.
Ravens. From the 35, it's 1st down. 4-man rush. Stroud trying to get through it, and he couldn't. A couple of different Chiefs with contact. Pretty cool to watch as they're getting ready. Movement up front, no flag. Mahomes will go down, thrown down by Tommy Togiai.
Entire starting Texans offensive line has not put those capes on all game.
Staying tough, pressure's coming. Karlaftis takes him down. And Stroud hit the deck hard.
2nd and goal now. Herbert sacked. Byron Young was the first guy there.
I think it was Denzel Perryman that distracted him, thinking he was going to get hit and caused him not to secure the catch.
Herbert, he's got protection. Now goes forward and runs into a bunch of bodies. 3rd down and 7. Herbert had to pull it down again. Play made by Jordan Davis.
And that's something that Tennessee is needing to build. They hire a new general manager who's brought in kind of a renewed mindset.
Simmons got his hand on that ball. And they're going to let it play out. It's grabbed and taken the other way by Kaiir Elam.
Yeah, Brian Branch out for the season. Kirby Joseph, their all-pro safety, hasn't played in weeks. Intercepted! Oh! Aiden Hutchinson! A clear path! Can he win the race? Hutchinson inside the 20. He's tackled there! What a play from Aiden Hutchinson! Blitz coming. Picked up. Now Stafford in trouble. Rolls away and he's dropped. Gets back to the line of scrimmage, but Hutchinson was there, so was Anzalone.
Jackson Dart now knows the coverage. Looks like he's going to go for Theo Johnson still.
On 4th down, Dart fires to the end zone. Looks like a flag was thrown. Pass incomplete.
He's right here next to Jackson Dart, motioning out.
Here's Dart off the fake to Tracy.
My goodness. And he fumbled.
Ball came loose. Giants recover. Now thanks. 3rd down, 11. From the 20, the defense is putting their hold on it. Vidal is the back. Here comes the blitz by Edwards. Hit as he throws. Intercepted. And picked off on the play. Gelati, the rookie. It's a thick pick inside the 20.
52-yard try. He's 3 for 3. Keely Fairbairn. And this one will not work. Not good. Special teams play.
To up their game and play much better in the last few games.
Jackson on 3rd and 7, and they get to him. shoestring sack, and it's Murphy again. Had one interception off the deflected pass in the first half. As the Ravens defense has had all the answers, and Burrow smothered again. Travis Jones.
They've gone on to successful seasons. Now what will McCarthy do? First throw of the night is deflected, batted, and intercepted. So McCarthy tipped it, trying to knock it back down, but it ricochets to the hands, I believe, of Quentin Williams. And the ex-Jet comes up with the pick after Donovan Wilson deflected it. And that Rams victory over Detroit is such a tough stretch in the last 3 hours of this Sunday afternoon. So many players getting hurt. Dak in trouble here, trying to escape, find some room, but he will go down and be sacked with terrific work by Jonathan Grenard.
We're going to go under 6 minutes to go in this game. Tagovailoa is sacked by Hayward.
Into the backfield. Darnold under pressure, and that's intercepted at the 1 yard line. That is Kobe Turner with another Rams interception from the 28. Extra pressure, look out. Darnold got him by the ankle. Poona Ford knocks him down there. Rams have a timeout.
Worked very quickly, either handing the ball off or getting rid of it, not to even give him a chance. Allen gets out of there.
There's a chance.
Allen, he's tripped up. Myles Garrett gets to the QB on the scramble.
Baker, blitz coming. Gets away once, not this time. A sack all the way back at the 34-yard line. He only had a moment to get rid of it, and it looked like Nick Scordon and Derek Brown collapsed on Mayfield.
Of 3rd and 5. Chuck pressures Cummins. He is sacked. Jawan Briggs. Play clock down to 2 on 3rd down. Cook pitches to his right. He's sacked. He lost the football. Nathan Shepard sacked him. It's spun away, and the Saints have recovered.
Don't want to put Jackson Dart in harm's way. This is going to be a pass right here.
Play clock winding down. Giants get the snap away. Dart on 4th down, wrapped up and sacked. 2nd down and 6. Final minute, 3rd quarter. Fake to Singletary. Dart wrapped up. Down he goes. And he had only missed the 2 with the kneecap and toe injury. He's just amazing. First, they're going to get him in the backfield and in the end zone. And Hunt was knocked down. It's a safety.
2nd, 3rd down that Burrow's facing, protected until that happened. Zach Sealer coming around the edge. Jamar Chase got into that little fracas with a couple of weeks back. Burrow evades the sack, and he's buried nonetheless. Or Miami, excellent pursuit. Chop Robinson and Kenneth Grant finally get to Burrow.
2nd and 6. Lawrence to throw. Backside pressure. Lawrence scrambles, and a lunging stop made by DJ Jones. Final play before the warning. Johnson gets tripped up and sacked. See what they give credit to right there. Looked like Nolan Smith.
Oh, it's a fake. Willis rolling out in trouble. He is hit. Surges forward, but he's not going to get there. T.J. Edwards snuffed it out, and now a big decision for Matt LaFleur.
Most of them as a receiver. Only 1 season as a defensive back.
2nd down and 7. Jordan. And that will take us to the 2-minute warning.
Call against the 2-time Super Bowl champion Jones. Did it with the Patriots. Fake the handoff. Prescott tries to step up, and he is twirled down. Getting home is Johnny Newton.
Other guys are going to have to step up their contributions in the pass game down 13.
Allen, some pressure. Taken down again. 4th sack of the day for the Eagles. It's Moro Ojomo who delivers.
Wow.
Penalty makes it first down and 20. Ward in trouble. Chase Young ripped it away. Young on the return. Young at the 10, 5, touchdown. What a play by Chase Young. He just stole it from Cam Ward and went the other way for 6.
Look at them guarding him all the way down to 10-yard line. 2 deep safeties.
Everyone going deep. Ward buying time. Ward is in trouble. Ward lost a football. Ward gets it back and now throws it to Spears, who can't make the play. No time on the clock, and the Saints win it.
They look like they put themselves in timeout. Each one of them got in trouble. They're like, go to your corner.
Oh, and yours is taken down back at the 30-yard line by Logan Hall. And that will take us to the end of the first half.
3rd and 12, 2:20 to go in the half. Lawrence retreating. This time they get there. Franklin and Atabare combine in the sack.
Can't take him off the field. 1st and 10. Rodgers in trouble. Got rid of it the last moment. Again, refusing a sack.
3rd and 10 at the 32. Brissett, lots of time. In trouble now, and down he goes. Miles Murphy, 5.5 sacks on the season. 1st down and 10 at the 40. Brissett under pressure, sacked again. It's Slayton who got him.
Thirteenth rushing touchdown of the year for Josh Allen. Most of any quarterback. Now, the extra point is blocked. It is blocked. Cousins to throw from the pocket, getting harassed, and he's going to be sacked again. Cam Jordan, now 10.5 sacks this season.
Out of Illinois, McPherson, who missed his first point after last week, has that one deflected, and it is no good. First down. Burrow, he's under pressure, he's sacked! And there it is, a record that has stood nearly a quarter of a century has a new leader as 30-year-old Myles Garrett records his NFL record 23rd sack of the year, passing Michael Strahan and T.J. Watt on the all-time list.
DJ Giddens is now in there in the backfield. Fake it. Leonard. Oh, Leonard loses the ball. Knocked around. Free ball. And the Texans pounce on it at the 1. Turnover, Indianapolis.
We've talked about his arm strength and how far he can throw the ball. That showed you some touch right there.
And that little shot put pitch to Jaden Blue was...
First down, play action, pressure. Goff is in trouble. He is sacked by Montez Sweat. Goff, pressure up the middle. Now comes around the edge, and he is sacked. Jervon Dexter with the Bears sack, and boy, do they need that.
See, continue to be crisp and put their foot on the gas.
Here's Blake Corum, takes the handoff from Stafford. Darius Robinson makes the tackle.
Heavy tight end set with Tunyon in motion. Oladokin pats the ball and loses it. Punched out behind midfield. Wilson forced the fumble. Still a scramble for it. It's Raider football.
As has Borregales here as a rookie. 26 out of 30, and this one gets blocked. And now the ball is loose and picked up by the rookie Marshall. Jason Marshall to the 40-yard line.
These guys can cover too well.
And they're in Denver territory.
Now they're not.
Now they're in Charger territory as they get another sack. And here is the sack specialist on this one.
Towards the top of the screen, and that's the direction he looks, but Bouchel is blasted in the end zone for a safety, and Tyree Wilson off the edge. Wow.
3rd and 7. Rodgers look out from behind, tries to escape. Got away from one, but not the rest. Mike Green gets him at the very end as Rodgers got twisted around and sacked by 3 Ravens.
Corum stuffed. Turk Walton has got a couple of Super Bowl rings from his time in Kansas City. Taking this one in is Panthers with the first down and 10, and Young has no chance. He's buried by Poona Ford. Quietly one of the most important players on this defense, his first year of a 3-year contract.
2nd and 7. Love stepping up, and Love will be taken down. Taken down there by Austin Booker, making the pop there, number 94. Love will go to the air and dumps it off to an eligible lineman who came in. Look at it, and then the ball comes loose. And the Bears thought they had it for a moment, and then it goes out of bounds. Of all crazy stuff, they went to Darian Kennard on a tackle eligible, lost it, and it rolls out of bounds off Jervon Dexter Sr.
Line and vice versa when the Eagles are on offense.
Purdy, 119 to go, gets out of a sack, but not the next one. Taken down by Jalen Carter.
Ball is down on the ground again. Stroud picks it up. Ball is out again. Watts on it. And no signal yet. It belongs to Pittsburgh. Rodgers in trouble. And down he goes. Houston's defense makes another play. Rodgers, ball's knocked out of his hand. And it's recovered by Mason McCormick. 3rd down and 12. Rodgers, time runs out. Ball is out. It's picked up by the Texans and Sheldon Rankins. And he is in for a touchdown.
On first down. Allen, they got to him. Nowhere to hide as 2 Bronco defenders take him down for the big loss near the 37-yard line. Loss of 7. Ball's on the ground off the snap. Allen fields it. In trouble. And he just manages to get back to the line of scrimmage with Roach. Again, dragging him down. On 3rd and 5. Bills rush 4. Pass is intercepted. Oh, look at one of the linemen just jump up and take it out of the air.
It's Walker.
Yeah, Walker, the rookie.
4th and 2. Purdy in trouble and sacked. Leonard Williams and the Seahawks take over.
Came up with his first of this year. And first ever in the playoffs. May turned around. There was no one there, so he goes forward. 6th tackle for a loss by this Texans defense. Shortest 3rd down they've faced. Anderson knocked it out. And it's recovered by Alshire. Will Anderson Jr. coming off the edge.
Rain and it's snow falling. We should see these quarterbacks grip the football better.
They put May on the move, and he gets brought down from behind by Daniil Hunter.
The defensive side, Emmanuel Forbes banged up. We'll update that when the Bears get it back. Stafford in trouble, got hit as he threw it, and that ball is recovered for the moment by Kyren Williams.
Can't take another timeout. That's why that gave them a chance to get more prepared. This is a huge drive for New England here.
Could be a momentum changer as May is being pursued and brought down. Cooper kind of slowed him down, and then DJ Jones finished him off. 3rd and 3. And there's May in traffic. Just got back to the line of scrimmage. Zach Allen brought him down. 3rd and 4. May has time. Now it breaks down and they sack him.
2/3 of the way through what is one of the worst performances ever by an offense in a Super Bowl. Can they change it? May in trouble. Cannot. Sack back at the 25-yard line. in the stands. It has not been the game he hoped for. Still time here at 5.5, but this relentless Seattle defense continues to have a night. Their 6th sack. Byron Murphy.